Ultramarines, a word that could inspire you, a word that sometimes brings a lot of people to anger. Over the past couple of days, there's been a lot of talk about the Ultramarines. They've just got a brand new model reveal, and some people are saying the Ultramarines are now ruining Warhammer 40,000. In this video, I'm going to look at both sides of the coins. Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Give my personal feelings on it and explore what the hell all this is about. So let's jump in and let's get waffling. So what in the Emperor's name is going on? Why are so many people angry? And rightfully so, in my opinion. Well, it's all about the brand new release that we just got revealed this week. With the win of the Imperium in the Armageddon Crusade, image in the background right now, GW revealed another Space Marine character. And this Space Marine character, you guessed it, is a Ultramarine. This chap is called Caius Cornerius. And if I'm not mistaken, this is the 11th Ultramarine release in the past 3 years. I'm not even lying when I say this. Since 2023, we've had a Titus model. We've had Seraphus Agamen. Basically, it's like a default Seraphus Agamen, but that's what it was in the launch of the Leviathan box. You've had Ferrin Erios. You've had another Marneus Calgar, Celticarius, the Victrix Guard. Then you got another Titus. He's in captain mode because he's now Captain Demetrius Titus, the Warden of Ultramar, whatever you want to call it. Veteran Sergeant Metarius, and the Ancient Gladriel, of course, with all the auxiliary stuff. So there's a lot of releases that have been happening with the Ultramarines in the past couple of years, and a lot of people are just sick and tired of it. They're bored of it. There's so many awesome characters, inspirational warriors in the Space Marine ranks that GW could have done, but we just go back to the basics and we just get another Ultramarine. That is why people are so angry. This could have been a brand new chapter master of the Salamanders. It could have been a new White Scar character, Iron Hand character, Raven Guard character, Flesh Tearers, Lamenters, Raptors, right? Name it. Carcharodons. It could have been something special, something amazing, but no, it's just another boring Ultramarine release. And I know what people are going to say, Valrak, you're just being bitter, you're a son of Dawn, you know, you would love this if you were an Ultramarine player. Of course, I would love to get some love to the Sons of Dawn, but to be fair, I'm eating quite good at the moment. I collect Templars, I will be collecting Crimson Fist, and I think Crimson Fist are going to get some good stuff going forward in the future, which we'll touch on a little bit in the video when we get to that. But if I was an Ultramarine player, all jokes aside, I would feel like a bit, okay, maybe this is a little bit too much. One of the great things about Warhammer is how cool everything is. It's all about that rule of cool. When you have characters like Gabriel Seth, right? You want that awesome, amazing model. But look at these ranges. Look at these characters that are literally just being left aside just to get nothing. And out of the blue, literally out of the blue, a brand new Ultramarine character gets announced. A new Ultramarine character gets announced that we've never even heard of before. And one of the arguments is, since we can't get another Marneus Calgar, right? What do they do instead? They get Marneus Calgar's best friend since high school as a new model. Like, you couldn't make this stuff up. There's so many models that need love, but instead, GW are focusing on brand new stuff that no one cares about, that literally the most of us don't want. We want our Gabriel Seth to be replaced. We want more characters for the White Scars, the Lamenters, Scythes of the Emperor, Nova Marines. Why does it always have to be Ultramarines, right? Why? Could someone tell me why? I know what you're going to say, because they're the greatest, they're the best of it all. If we're going to flip that coin on its head, technically, Games Workshop see the Ultramarines as the main Space Marines. They are the poster boys. They are on all the advertisement stuff. This is why, again, another big argument has happened. The Blood Angels launched 11th edition. They were the poster boys, literally the poster boys on the box. That lasted 2 weeks. Combat patrols, the introductory sets, the starter sets, it's all defaulted back to the Ultramarines. Again, you can put that down to marketing decisions. I think there's a lot of playing like fizzy, like in your mind, where blue sells better. But if that was the case, then why do Blood Angels in the first place? Why not just put your hand in the bag and just pull out Ultramarines from the start? Why tease us with potentially new Blood Angel stuff and then just go, hey, guess what? We're going back to Ultramarine stuff. That's another question, another debate to add on top of this. Why isn't this a Blood Angel character? Why isn't this a Blood Angel HQ of some sort? Why does it have to be the Ultramarines if it's all focused on Armageddon? The Ultramarines only have 2 demi-companies on Armageddon. They barely have 100 Marines on the planet. The Salamanders have more or less deployed their entire bloody chapter. Chapter Master Tushan is there fighting for his life, and they don't even get a look in this room. To be fair, it is ridiculous and it is madness from Games Workshop. And this is why a lot of people are fed up. They're getting sick of this just constant bloody Ultramarine love. The Ultramarines are the Space Marines of Space Marines. As Space Marines always get a release in this hobby, the Ultramarines are that to us Space Marine players. We're sick to death of them. We don't want any more Ultramarines. We want more bloody chapters, more characters from these chapters to step into the bloody limelight. And there's one more thing to talk about on this, which again frustrates me from a lore standpoint, a fan of the lore standpoint, and that is the Ultramarines are shoved down our throat in every single scenario. Like going back all the way to 8th edition, all the way to where we are in now 11th edition, Armageddon, and the Segmentum Pacificus with the Tyranids. Why do the Ultramarines always have to be there? Again, Games Workshop, you have so many rich chapters, so many characters that could be involved around these scenarios, which doesn't have to involve the Ultramarines. It doesn't make sense. Going back to last edition, when the Tyranids were invading, the Raven Guard and the Raptors should have been the main chapter fighting then. Yes, the Sons of Dawn were there, the Phalanx were there, but even as a Son of Dawn, I would have given it up to the Raptors and the Raven Guard. We had this amazing story where the Raptors and the Raven Guard, I think it was a Raven Guard if I'm not mistaken, saw this like Tyranid-sized planet organism heading towards a Segmentum Solar, and it was just left. Nothing ever happened of it. It was just not reported from there. But what we did get then is Marnius Calgar going back to Armageddon with Operation Imperator with less than 100 Marines commanding the whole situation. When you've got Chapter Master Tushan there, who's got his entire chapter, but he's left outside in the rain looking like a lost puppet. It doesn't make sense. I personally think it is, in a way, ruining the fabric of the lore, because it's like the Ultramarines are everywhere. They shouldn't be everywhere. The galaxy is too big for the Ultramarines to be in every major war zone. Give some attention to some other bloody chapters and start making the stories and the lore good again. Because at this moment in time, it's just trash. It's trollop, because you're forcing a narrative in there that doesn't make sense, and you've done so many bloody times before. It's boring, and we want to be excited about this product. And just before people say, oh, Valrak, you're just jumping on the bandwagon, you know, you're jumping on this Ultramarine hate, I actually really like the Ultramarines. I think they are a great chapter. My problem with them, as I've just mentioned, they're too overused. I love Gilliman. I love the Ultramarine storylines. Go back, read the Dark Imperium series, Godblight. They have some of the most epic, fantastic bloody moments. It inspires you to go out to buy models, to collect the models, to paint models. I don't hate the Ultramarines. I just hate how Games Workshop are using them in the later editions, in the current narrative. It doesn't make sense with all the other cool stuff that they have at their disposal. And on that subject, I do think that going forward, we may be getting some more love to some other chapters. Again, according to some of the rumours, like the Crimson Fist, which I mentioned at the start of the video, the 40th year anniversary, I think we may get some good stuff then. I am hoping on a brand new Gabriel Seth. I'm hoping that the Raptors get a chapter master, etc. Some people are going to say, yeah, Val, what about the Dark Angels, the Blood Angels and stuff? They've been getting a lot of love and you're not complaining about them. Yeah, but they're like stand out because they get their own codexes, right? They're the ones like are unique chapters. They have their own look. They have their own way of warfare. They have their way of organizing themselves on the battlefield. So they should get their own chapters. At the end of the day, if we're all Ultramarines, it's all boring. We want to have these fantastic chapters out there, you know, standing out from the Ultramarines, right? Because it makes the game way more fun. It looks more fun. And at the end of the day, when we come to roll dice, it makes it more fun. Anyway, thank you for coming. Thank you for watching. Is this a rant? I don't see it as a rant. I'm just putting the truth on the paper, right? They hated me because I told them the truth. Wait, does that make me Lorgar? Mother of the Emperor. See you in a bit. Have a great day, evening, night, where you're out of the world, and bye-bye.